Hello, how's it going?
Hey Sharif, how you doing?
Good, how are you been?
Doing well, doing well. I appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate you reaching out. Glad we could schedule
Yeah,
something.
definitely. Yeah, I'm just pulling up your LinkedIn and everything. But yeah, got a lot of cool stuff to show you about PR Vault, and then really excited to hear about your background and kind of where you're at in your career as well. Um, but yeah, no, I'd love to start there actually. Just like, how did you come across PR Vault and kind of what made you apply?
Yeah, definitely. So I would say, really, I saw a lot of resonance with the kind of first experience I had in tech and in software sales. My experience was at Decide, formerly Locker Dome, where I was with them for about 2 years or so. I started as an SDR, I got promoted, worked up to an account executive, and they were a programmatic advertising agency, so to speak. And I saw a lot of similarity, honestly, just with PR Volt and how you guys are optimizing, different campaigns, even optimizing something like the outreach and using AI and things of that nature. And being that it was probably a few years ago, it was still like they were calling it machine learning, but it was pretty much AI that like we were using
Yeah,
to
yeah.
scale these campaigns and make these decisions. But I definitely think that they were just a little ahead of their time, and like with the downturn of the tech market, some kind of financial things, didn't go their way. But I really, really had a great experience. It was nice to even be able to develop some relationships with agencies, go to like Affiliate Summit East, LeadsCon, and some of those conferences too, on that marketing side. So I really would be just interested in,
Which I'm always at the affiliate summits. Which
yeah,
ones were you at? I love those.
yeah, Affiliate Summit East in New York, I believe. That one we had went to. That one was super, super fun.
I
So
haven't made it out to New York. I've made it to Vegas a
Vegas,
handful of times for West.
yeah,
Yeah, they're the best. No, I love to see that you had SaaS experience and like even more so Martech experience. So that's awesome. And then you studied CS too. Like it looks like you're somewhat technical as
yeah,
well.
yeah, a little
Um,
bit. I mean, just the coding and like I studied it, but there was something in me that just liked the sales side so much more because I was talking to people, developing relationships. It wasn't like, which I'm fine being at the computer most of the day, but I still want to be able to engage, interact with people, solve some different problems. And it was like the CS, you may spend 3, 4 hours looking at some code and you forget a semicolon, and it's like just it
right,
ruins
right.
your day. So
I'm the same way. I'm somewhat technical. I build a lot of automations for PR Vault, like with Make.com and whatnot, but not writing a lot of code. But it's a good combination, I think, for a salesperson. You know, I
yeah.
mean, a lot of companies are hiring dedicated sales engineers. So, yeah, no, I think dangerous combination for sure. Um, that's awesome. And it looks like Decide was a bit of a smaller company, but they have like 60 employees now. Or that's what they say on LinkedIn at least.
Yeah.
But it was when you were there, it was kind of smaller startup environment.
Yeah, it was a lot smaller. I think we had grown up to maybe we were at like 90 employees, and then they had to let go like maybe 2/3 of everyone. So yeah, it looks like they've kind of grown back up from there. But yeah, it was definitely a startup. Like
Gotcha.
when I joined, it wasn't really anything in terms of like uh, training for SDRs or cadences or anything. It was like kind of like the Wild
Well, we're a
West.
lot
But
smaller. You probably see, and like we're very small. So growing very quickly. We've actually like almost tripled revenue in the last 6 months.
wow.
So on a good trajectory, but small company, which is why I was curious just how you like the startup environment. Seems like based on your
Yeah,
experience
honestly, I
that you like.
prefer it.
Yeah, yeah. No, because I mean we're a team of like 15 people, so even smaller than that. And the sales team by the time you would come on, if you decided you liked the role, we'd be like a team of 4 or 5, the whole sales and
Okay.
marketing team. So definitely smaller environment. But what was going on with this? Looks even smaller, and you were the co-founder. What was going on with Wealth University? I'm
Yeah.
really curious about that.
Yeah, so that was a virtual hiring agency that myself and a couple other business partners pretty much founded through not only like social media marketing. We had grown a few different pages upwards to like close to 100,000 followers, and we developed a community and like an automated service where we were doing like resume revamps, LinkedIn optimizations, and then as well partnered with a couple AI companies in terms of like resume revamp. Some of them even did like resume send outs. So yeah, we scaled that and grew it to now we've got automated like probably 10 or so virtual assistants. We had like a 200 member community and then like another one that was like 700 members. And yeah, a couple social media pages that we were literally just running those, running traffic and developing like a lot of different partnerships to kind of automate
That's
it
awesome.
to, yeah.
Yeah, how did you grow that? That's awesome. Like 700 people. How'd you do that?
Yeah, I mean, mainly through social media, like organic growth,
Yeah.
and just kind of content based on like the job market, based on just a lot of things that I feel like people don't know in terms of resumes and interviews or just anything about like the different roles and the different markets out there. So, as well as partnering with a couple other like kind of smaller schools and smaller companies that maybe we were doing like some recruitment or placement or just kind of helping like the a couple different departments at schools like with their students and their resumes.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I really just have two other main questions, and I'd love to get into a bit more about PR Vault and kind of get you, some info on the opportunity and the company. Um, but first, yeah, curious, are you looking mostly like your whole search is just startups, like smaller SaaS startups,
Yeah,
or kind of looking across the board?
yeah, I would say mostly more smaller startups. Being that the recent role in now at InstaWork, they're past like Series D round funding, so it's a lot more established. But I do find that I like the growth opportunities more at startups. Um, I mean, even when it in terms of like leads, and sometimes it feels like when you're at the bigger companies, it's like there's a lot of territories
Target
that yeah
industry.
everyone's been
Yeah, yeah.
worked.
No, you don't strike me as the type, especially if you built this Wealth University yourself, all that. And actually, a lot of the team is like that. A lot of the team is like former founders. Before
Nice.
PR Vault, I had built a small SaaS company called Affiliate Finder in the same industry,
Oh yeah,
and it was great for like 3 years, but eventually, just like the affiliate industry kind of changed, and so had to
yeah,
shut it down. But like exact same story for me. So like Peter, the founder, he loves hiring previous founders, so I think he'll be excited to see that.
sweet.
Yeah, but love to get into any questions you have about the company. I'll show you some stuff we got going on. One of my favorite things about the SDR role at PR Vault, I'll show you in a bit, is that the SDRs are currently not doing any outbound. So we've
Hmm.
done a really good job of marketing. And so we have enough inbound leads that we're only hiring SDRs to manage the inbound. So I don't
Wow.
know if like at InstaWork, you're sitting there doing cold calls and cold emails all day.
Yeah,
But
all day.
right now, I've been overloading. We only have one SDR and then it's me responding to some emails. But like there's so many leads every day. Like we had like 30 leads come in a day last
Wow.
week. So for a couple people, like that's quite a few to manage. And so I'll show you some of our campaigns, but it's all inbound, which I think makes the job a lot more fun.
Yeah,
Not a
it
lot of
does.
smiling and dialing, just constant rejection. Um, but yeah, I'm just curious, like any, having looked at PR Vault, like any questions or where do you want me to start there?
Yeah, I mean, no questions. I kind of have a high level like understanding of it, but I definitely, especially being that you said like you guys tripled the revenue in the last few months, like just to be able to kind of see like and learn a little bit about what's working so well and see some like
Yeah,
real some use cases of it would be super cool.
happy to show you. And let me get my screen share really quick. And actually, in terms of this process, so I'm head of growth, um, but we just started doing these interviews actually this week. So you're one of the first interviews we're doing. We'll probably be interviewing for the next week or two.
Hmm.
And after this one, like basically the next step would be to chat with Peter. And on that call, he would show you a lot more about the platform. So like actually get into the app, like how it's used, stuff like that, to give you a sense of like what the product really does. He's really focused on the product side. But for now, I can show you a lot about just like what we do on the sales and the marketing team, what works,
Sweet.
stuff like that. So let me get that up. Almost all of our traffic right now comes from cold outbound. So here's our smart lead. We've got a bunch of campaigns. We found one campaign that's working really well. And this is what we're scaling and where we're getting most of our leads. This is just one version we're split testing here, but you can see it's like 27, 25 leads a day, 22 leads
Wow.
a day, 28. So it's like the bottleneck is not top of funnel. It's really how many of these can we respond to. But what it actually is and how it's working is, let me try to show you one of these in the inbox. I'll show you the sequence first. But we're doing a lot of just AI enriched emails out to e-commerce companies. That's our target market.
Okay.
Like e-commerce companies with over 5 employees or a Trenko rank of under 1 million, so just well trafficked. And what we're doing is we have a handful of publications in our network that we can just get articles written for on demand. Like MSN is one. If we want an MSN article, we can have it up in 2 days.
Wow.
Authority magazine with like Medium's publication. And so we just use that as a lead magnet at the top of the funnel. And I generate an AI generated email. It says like, hey, John, I'm working with a reporter at MSN. And then based on the information I find online about the company, I actually just AI generate the topic of the article. And we say like, hey, we're working on, so like if it's, for example, Strider Bikes is a customer, they make like kids bikes. If we were reaching out to them, the AI article might be like, hey, we're writing an article on top 10 bikes for kids or top 10 exercise ideas for your kids coming into the holidays, right? So we say that we're already working on that article and we just want to include them. And then we say, full disclosure, this filters down the responses quite a bit, but we want to make sure there's some intent to.
Yeah, they're qualified.
We'll need to get on a quick call, and then we'll want to show them some other opportunities we have coming up. We can get them in the article either way. And this has just been crushing it. I'll show you the revenue graph in a minute. But I came on in November, really young company. I came on in November, and they were at 40K MRR, and I think over the next few days we'll be at 110.
Wow.
So that was over like 4 or 5 months. So definitely blowing up. But I'm showing some of the responses to these. Actually, I can just show you in Pipedrive too. This was not from email. These are all follow-ups. Yeah, I think you get the point with these.
Yeah, this is amazing.
And then we're just adding, in some like voicemail and whatnot on top of that. So I automate voicemails out to anybody that opens the email and doesn't respond. So they actually get a call from one of our SDRs. It's automated. You don't have to sit there and make the call.
Wow, that's nice.
But it says, hey, we just emailed you. But it sends right after they open it if they don't respond. So that's just generating enough leads that we're not having the SDRs do any outbound. But yeah, that's the gist of what's working. This won't work forever. Like it's generating a ton of pipeline right now. Like this is just the leads we've gotten this week. But we're going to probably be doing about 2 more quarters of scaling the outbound like that and hiring some more SDRs, and then I'll start running a bunch of ads and stuff like that. But I feel like you're going to have a ton of growth ideas too, like given that you've got such a diverse background. You have like CS skills, like marketing, you've been an SDR. Pretty similar to my background actually. So if you come up with any growth ideas or campaigns, I'd be very curious.
Yeah, there's definitely some things I would think of, but just I've seen there's those automated voicemails, tools and things that you can use to, I've even seen like for SMS, they now have one where it's AI powered, but it gets the like blue bubble from like a iPhone message. So,
oh, no way.
Yeah, it's like, it feels like super humanized. It can even like,
what's that service called?
It's called sellblue.ai. I think they're like SELL.
Oh, SELL.
Yeah. So they're still kind of in beta, but I was actually, I know a couple of my like business partners that do social media, and like they've been working with them, and they've been like doing pretty good revenue just using that, which is really cool.
That's awesome. You probably need an opt-in list for this. That's the issue. Like the voicemail we can get away with sending.
Right.
I think SMS, you get into hot water really quickly.
Yeah.
How did you find this? It sounds like you're probably pretty on top of all these tools. Like how do you stay up to date with this?
Yeah, I mean a mix of like, so being that I'm based like out in Phoenix, there's like always a tech meetup, text mixer. So like I'll usually try and go to like one every other week. So like last week I was at one and I met someone who was using this. They also were telling me about a couple other like just AI tools and softwares for what was the other one that was super interesting? It was pretty much like a transcriber for like
Hmm.
for sales calls and like just audio content that would like pretty much transcribe, pull all the data, and could kind
Oh,
of
like Fathom or Otter, like those companies do that.
yeah, it was like
Yeah.
Otter, but it was like they added it was like some I forget what else they had a bunch of additions on it too, like that went into prospecting. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm always looking for new tools and stuff like that too.
yeah, I don't
But
that
yeah,
one like SendSpark is another good one too. I've got some friends, like account executives, they're using SendSpark, which is for it's like AI Loom videos almost, and it's like personalized. So
oh
like,
my God, this is awesome. I've got a Loom growth hack we tried that didn't actually work for PR Vault. I got it to work for some other products. I'll show you. Um, this is cool. These all the ones that I found that do this have been pretty expensive. I don't know what these guys are doing. 1,000. Oh, this is actually pretty cheap.
yeah.
Do they help you send them too, or do they just generate the video and then you have to send them yourself?
So I forget. I think they do a mix of both. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I haven't looked too in depth in it. But yeah, he was telling me about that and kind of like how it literally customizes and makes it personalized. So it just saves him a bunch of time when he's doing his like his video outreach.
Dude, this is awesome. I'll show you what we did with Loom. This was kind of cool. It's kind of like a cheeky growth hack that we did. We've done some more like gray hat strategies and stuff like this too. Not all of them have worked, but one of the fun things I like to do with services like this where you can use shares. Let's see if I have one that I actually did. Um, this one, see how it's got 230 views on it?
Yeah.
This is for back when I was doing Affiliate Finder my SaaS. But the way that we actually did this, and there's a bunch of comments on it too. The way that we did this is if you look at the network activity when you're playing around with the app and you go and just share the video, like we actually found the API call that they use internally for shares.
Hmm.
And so I just started hitting it like 10,000 times a day, sharing the videos with like, so that emails would actually come from Loom, like, hey, Ben shared a video with you, and you could personalize the email. So I just used this instead of email for a long time.
That's nice.
It's like one of these. Yeah, it works really well. But couldn't get it to convert for PR Vault, so but it's just one thing we were testing. Anyways, like last few questions. It sounds like you've been in your current role for 9 months. You're looking for something smaller because they're Series D. Like, what's your timeline like?
Yeah, I mean, I would say is kind of as quick as you guys can move. I know you mentioned like the next 2 weeks or so you're kind of looking. So I mean, I would say yeah, the next few weeks like would fit my timeline. I've kind of let my manager know I'm like actively looking, and especially like with the fourth coming up, like I know there's kind of a little break in that point. So I mean, within the next few weeks to month, like I'd be actively looking to
That's
make a
perfect.
transition.
Yeah, we're hiring 2 SDRs for trying to have it done all by July 15th. So that's kind of where we're at.
Okay,
The
sweet.
timelines line pretty well. Yeah, so in terms of next steps, like I definitely want to keep you moving through the process. Like I love that you're so excited about this stuff and like know all these tools that I didn't
Yeah.
even know about for marketing. Like that's awesome. But Peter is gone right now. He's on a trip in Europe. He gets back on Monday.
Okay.
So I'll try to find a time with him where you can talk to him next week. And then we can move forward from there. He'll have more information about the actual product to show you. And then if you want to get into stuff like comp and how that'll all actually be structured, he's the guy to talk to there.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll find something there next week if you want, and then take it from there.
Perfect. Appreciate you, Ben. This was fun.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, great talking.
All right, we'll talk soon.
See you.
Bye. Come on, job stacking. That's a fire job to job stack. That actually got me excited. Startup, only team of sales 5 reps, all inbound. And I'm kind of pretty much I've had experience. That was like my first tech role was ad tech, and they're literally like an ad tech like type of company. So that's a dub. I'm excited.